we've had some great racing in the Formula Regional Middle East Championship certified by FIA here at the Dubai Autodrome. We are Feline Wang and Jake Sanson, and with 2 races down and 1 to go, we're getting ready for the action.
欢迎回到我们的直播现场，即将进行的是国际汽联中东区域方程式第3回合的正赛了。前2个回合的比赛都非常的精彩，让我们期待第3场的正赛。那么我是菲林，那么在我身边的是 Jake。So Jake, tell us more about the tire strategy. I know like some of the teams will use new tires for this round, but some of the team will only have old tires.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. Some drivers will have decided to sacrifice a good result in race 1 in order to try and go for the victory in race 3, and vice versa. Some will have chosen the first race of the weekend to get the best of their car. It means that this final race of the weekend is going to be very unpredictable.
那么刚刚我问到 Jack， 他对这个比赛就因为轮胎的使用是有限制的。那么有些车队呢会把第1套的新胎呢会用在第1场比赛当中，有些车队呢会把新胎留到最后一场比赛，会让最后一场比赛让更加的充满了不确定性。
So, with everything to play for, let's go racing one more time. What a fantastic battle this 3rd and final race of the weekend is going to give us then. It will be such an exciting duel for the Formula Regional Middle East Championship Race 3 here this weekend. Hello everybody, Jake Sanson here with you one more time. And it's myself and Feline Wang who will take you through the action around this Dubai Autodrome circuit for the 3rd race of Formula Regional Middle East Championship, certified by FIA. 5.39 kilometres around the Dubai Autodrome circuit. It is FIA Grade 1 listed, and we have got such an intriguing race ahead of us. It's going to be very different to what we saw in race 1 and race 2. There are some drivers that do not have a decent fresh set of tyres coming into this one. Others who have literally saved their best tyres for last here. So we could well end up with 3 different race winners. We had Dino Beganovic take the win yesterday in race 1. Earlier today, Nikhil Bora triumphed to get the win in race 2. But Nikhil Bora starts P7 and Dino Beganovic starts P6 for this one. Pole position goes the way of Kimi Antonelli, and Feline Wang has found him down on the grid.
It's more exciting because we have many cars. Actually, already last year it was very successful with the regional. This year we add Formula 4, that is, of course, is an extra number of cars, more teams. So it was one of our plan already last year to try to go out of UAE, and we are exploring the possibility to go even farther for next year. The challenge is that, yeah, we need more staff, we need more people. There's a lot of things that we need to care. Looking at the starting grid is really impressive because we have all the best team, European team, Asian team, the best drivers. Most of the junior program drivers are joining this championship, so I expect that will be a very competitive series. We are trying to build something that is going to be stable for the years. Already starting from last year, we have seen that is a good package for team and drivers coming here. Now we enlarged with Formula 4. The feedback is good from the team and driver, so we believe that is something that will develop and will be stable for the following year. So we expect a promising future.
Championship coordinator Davide Gobbi there, telling us about the legacy that is hoping to be built with this new Formula Regional Middle East Championship and how it's going to grow in stature over the years and weeks to come. So, race 2 was a pretty interesting one in terms of the championship ramifications. Here's how it played out. Pole position for Nikhil Bora meant that the pressure was going to be sky high from the outset. He had a lot of pressure from Aidan Neat early doors, and it was always going to be a tough one to sustain throughout a very tough competition. Early on in the race, there was always going to be a little bit of pressure from the drivers in the mid-pack, as everyone wanted a piece of the action. Taylor Barnard started working his way through the field, making up position after position. There was also a little bit of drama from his compatriots out there on the course. Everyone trying to find that little bit of extra gap to make the overtaking move. Joshua Dufek held himself well in the middle of the gaggle for top 5 position honours. It was very close to the mark for Will McIntyre, who very nearly ended up having problems of his own. Gabriele Mini then ended up having a big issue with Dino Beganovic, and the two of them collided. Hopping over the top of the curbs, it was always a very close encounter for race position after race position. So many drivers felt they had a chance of things. But there was always going to be a close run to the end. Some big battles between the Hyderabad Blackbirds MP and Pinnacle VAR teams, who were always going to have some very tricky competitions all the way through the race. Sebastian Montoya found it harder than most, and he was ending up having to battle with Gabriele Mini. No points from the Italian from the first two races of his campaign. Nikhil Bora, under massive pressure, didn't crumble as Taylor Barnard got himself into third position. And now the British driver leads the championship. Second place though for Aidan Neate, behind the hard pressure. Nikhil Bora though was able to take the win. Kamara versus Antonelli gave us drama to the final lap. But Nikhil Bora was able to storm through for a smooth and serene victory as the top dog in race 2. Aidan Neate in second, and new championship leader Taylor Barnard in third. But it's all change again ahead of race 3. And what a situation it has now become, because we have a really exciting, fantastic battle ahead of us. Kimi Antonelli will go from pole position alongside Mari Boya, and now I can tell you that Feline Wang has indeed found Andrea Kimi Antonelli on the front of the grid.
Hey Kimi, starting from P1 for the last race of the weekend, what will be your approach?
I mean, obviously we're looking for a win. It's not going to be easy, but yeah, really happy to be starting on pole, and I'll do my best.
Good luck. Yeah. 刚刚我跟到 Kimi 呢，他今天呢在最后一场比赛当中是从头位发车的。他对自己有什么一个要求呢？他说他当然是希望能拿到冠军了，不过呢，这个场比赛也会是非常的艰辛的。Back to you guys.
Thanks, Feline. There's a lot of pressure on Kimi Antonelli to get this right. 16 years of age in his maiden season in Formula Regional. He's been the king of F4, and he was one of the fastest drivers throughout free practice. But this was his chance to really take control of the situation. But a few of the drivers will have kept their best tyres back for this last race, including Mari Boya. I managed to catch up with him. You can see him there, sat in second position on the grid for the Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP car. I did actually catch up with him in between race 2 and 3, and he said, well, we've been off the pace for race 1 and race 2 because we wanted to use our old tyres and get them out of the way so that we can have brand spanking new fresh tyres for race 3, where I'm starting from the front row of the grid. I want to win this race. I've got a chance. I'm going to give it everything I've got. It's a similar story for the man in third on the grid, Tazinder Rubazak, who was very fast indeed in Q2. And now has a chance from third position on the grid to go for the victory. There is Rafael Kamara, the Brazilian, who also has a chance to go for the win in fourth place on the grid for the Mumbai Falcons racing team. Those two rivals, Gabriele Mini and Dino Beganovic, are on the same row of the starting grid coming into this one. They go from 5th and 6th on the grid. They just can't keep away from each other. They had a great battle to the line yesterday in race 1. They actually collided in race 2 earlier today. So what on earth is going to happen between those two in race 3, I wonder? Nikhil Bora, who is now, of course, a Formula Regional race winner, after his performance in race 2 where he commanded out in front. He starts 7th on the grid on row 4 alongside Nikita Bedrin. Jack Crawford on the 5th row of the grid is alongside Sebastian Ugar, and he is there in 10th position. Pepe Marti and Francesco Braschi are on the 6th row of the grid together. Then Aidan Neate and Lorenzo Flusha. Sami Megatuniv has a chance from 15th on the grid. He's got new tyres on. I happen to know that one for a fact, alongside Josh Dufek. Levi Revej and Sebastian Montoya, then Matias Agazeta and Brad Benavides, Michael Shin and Rafael Villagomez, then Niels Kulin and Giovanni Mascio, Daniel Mavludyatov and Taylor Barnard, who has to go from the back of the grid, of course, after his times were disallowed in qualifying, and then Han Shen Yu will go from the back of the grid. So incredibly, Taylor Barnard, who leads the championship on 30 points compared to Nikhil Bora on 26 and Dino Beganovic on 25, has yet again got to start this race from the back of the grid. Goodness knows who's going to lead the championship when this race is over. But I have a feeling we could end up with 3 completely different winners, because Beganovic starts P6 and Nikhil Bora starts P7. the winners from the first two races. And there's some big talent on this starting grid just up in front of them. Antonelli, Boyer, Interfuvazak, Kamara and Mini, all of whom have a great chance to take the victory and all of whom have the opportunity to go for the battle. So it's definitely going to be an interesting situation for all of the contenders. But now we're going to get to see who has the opportunity to move their way forward. The FIA Formula Regional Middle East Championship gearing us up for another sensational battle. This is going to be quite an interesting situation for all of the contenders as they run in position up to the first corner. But now the Formula Regional Middle East Championship drivers are alone out on the circuit. The grid is cleared and we're getting ready for the third and final race of the weekend in Formula Regional Middle East Championship 2023. Jake Sanson in the commentary box, Feline Wang down in the pit lane, and it is time to see what will happen in this third and final race of the weekend in this first round of 5. After this one, we go to Kuwait Motor Town on 2 occasions in the space of 8 days, and then we will have Dubai Autodrome for the 4th round of the championship, and then we'll have the season finale in mid-February on the Yas Marina Circuit. So, ladies and gents, we are going for one more formation lap in Formula Regional Middle East around the circuit here in Dubai. And the battle will begin. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, pole position alongside the Spanish talent Mari Boyer. Then it is Taz Intervuvazak alongside Rafa Kamara, the Brazilian. Gabriele Mini on the 3rd row of the grid alongside Dino Beganovic. Will there be more fireworks between the two rivals? Nikhil Bora alongside Niki Bedrin. Then rounding out the top 10, it is Jack Crawford alongside Sebastian Ugar, the Danish driver. 11th on the grid is the Spanish talent Pepe Marti. He lines up beside Francesco Braschi. Then it is the British driver Aidan Neate on the 7th row of the grid alongside Lorenzo Flusha, who will be there in number 7 on the grid for Mumbai Falcons. Then on the 8th row of the grid, it is Sami Megatunif. Watch for him charging through alongside Joshua Dufek. Then we have Levi Revej beside Sebastian Montoya, who's really having a struggle so far this weekend. Matthias Zagazeta is beside Brad Benavides, the American driver there in P20. Marco Shin for Korea is 21st alongside Rafael Villa Gomez. Niels Kuhlen, a fair debut in Formula Regional alongside Giovanni Mascio. And then at the back row of the grid, it's Daniel Mavliutov and Taylor Barnard, who had all his times from qualifying deleted, but he is still the championship leader after 2 third places. Han Chen Yu is the last man on the starting grid. And we're still waiting for Wang Xiongwei to make his first appearance in the championship. He had mechanical problems that kept him from doing so this weekend. Hopefully he'll be back to his normal service in Kuwait. So, time for the drivers to battle for supremacy once again. It's going to be an interesting challenge right from the outset as the drivers are ready for another strong battle. There is the number 5, Taylor Barnard, going off the back of the grid. But he did that yesterday to go from 27th to 3rd, unbelievably. It's going to be tricky for him to do that again. I actually got to speak to him over the very brief lunch hour that we had in between races, and Taylor Barnard told me, I can't believe I'm leading the championship. I genuinely thought after qualifying, World Championship is done. That's it. I'm not going to win the championship. He genuinely didn't think after 2 races he'd be leading the point standings, and he's quite doubtful he'll be leading it after race 3 because he's got no fresh tyres left. But his target is to finish in the points. If he can make it into the top 10, then as far as he's concerned, it's job done. But who's going to take the win? That's the real question. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, 16 years of age, the king of Formula 4 last year, won the Italian and German championships as well as the gold medal for Italy in the FIA Motorsport Games. But this is Formula Regional, his 3rd race in this car. It's a big leap up. It's such a physical car by comparison to Formula 4. In F4, you learn how to be quite aggressive, quite tactical. You can turn the car in and get a lot of grip out of it. These Formula Regional cars are very stiff, very brutal, very physical and very aggressive. I caught up with Oliver Behrman a couple of days ago, who raced this car for the last 2 weekends of what was then called Formula Regional Asia last year, and he said, I don't think I'd have had a good Formula 3 campaign had I not done those 2 horrible weekends in a Formula Regional car, because I really did get to know how tough a car can be to handle. These are very physical cars to race. And a really great race ahead for this man. Taylor Barnard potentially. What can he do from the back row of the grid? Can he work his way back into the points? If he can, then he's done the best that he can do from a very tricky race weekend. Let's see what he can achieve. The final race of the weekend in Formula Regional Middle East Championship 2023, the season opener here at Dubai, and we're getting ready to go racing. Antonelli, who holds the lead initially, down to the first corner. Two of the Mumbai Falcons going very well off the start. That looks like Kamara and Beganovic have both got well indeed as they come into third and fourth. Tucked up behind Antonelli, and there's a problem further back. There's been a collision. Two cars have come together there. It's one of the RAce GP cars. I think that's the 88. Oh, sorry, the 68, I should say. No, I was right the first time. It's Zagazeta. And he seems to have come together with Brad Benavides. So Benavides and Zagazeta have had a coming together there at turn one, unfortunately. So it looks like there's not going to be a repeat of the podium from Matthias Zagazeta this time round. A very tricky situation then for the contenders on this occasion. But certainly for Zagazeta and Benavides, it is a big problem, and their race has already come to a premature end. But look who's leading! That is Mari Boya. Mari Boya has fought his way through into the lead. He's got past Kimi Antonelli, and Mari Boya, the Spaniard, leads the way. Brilliant. Antonelli in second. Third place, that is Rafael Kamara. So already a brilliant launch forward from Mari Boya. The Spaniard knew that this was going to be his best chance. He wanted a race where he had completely fresh tyres on, and he's got it, and he's leading the way for the Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP. It's Mari Boya that leads the race. He didn't initially, but he's certainly leading it now. So a great start. And that looks like Tazin Devuvazak there, tucked up into fourth position. There's a problem further back. That looks like Sebastian Montoya has fallen to the very back of the field. Definitely not what he wanted from this first encounter, first lap of the race. And still they duel on. I think Tazin Devuvazak's managed to get into third position as they come through. Oh, and there's more contact further back. Two cars have ended up hopping over each other, and it's going to be game over for one of the PHM cars. It's Taylor Barnard. Oh, Taylor Barnard is in trouble. Well, the championship leader, he'd had a squeaky clean weekend up to that point. But Taylor Barnard coming a cropper with one of the RAce GP cars. I couldn't quite make out which one it was. I think it's Sami Megatuniv, actually, in the Hyderabad Blackbirds MP car. Meanwhile, Mini is dueling with guess who? Dino Beganovic. So Mini's got through. There's Taylor Barnard. His car has stopped on the run up to the final corner. And that's Taylor Barnard's day done. Well, he's had an amazing weekend. For me, he is still the driver of the weekend. But I'm afraid race 3 is not going to be a finish. So Boya leads. Antonelli second. Devuzak is third. Then Kamara, Beganovic, Mini, Marti, Bora and Bedrin. Then Crawford in P10 ahead of Neat, Flusha, Dufek, Benavides and Brashi. But look at Mari Boya. This is exactly what the Spaniard wanted up front. I walked into the hospitality in between races. He took one look at me and grinned from ear to ear. He said, I'm going to get this. Just watch. Really exciting battle in the mid-pack. It's not easy to determine how this is going to play out for Pepe Marti. He's got a lot of pressure now from the PHM around him. So that's Nikita Bedrin with Jack Crawford and Aidan Neat waiting in the wings as well. A lot more risks being taken in this third race of the day. But Boya leads. Antonelli in second from Devuzak, and in fourth place Kamara. Let's watch again. And that's what happened. Barnard just got shot across by one of the RAce GP cars. I'm not entirely sure which one that was either. I couldn't make out whether that was Brashi or Revenge. No, it's Zagazeta in fact, by the look of it. So Zagazeta has had a problem in coming to the pits. So that would tell the story behind that one. And Sami Megatuniv has come into the pits to retire as well. Interestingly, Barnard has actually got his car going again and brought it back into the pits. So there's no safety car. Boya, Antonelli, Devuzak, Kamara, Beganovic, Mini, Marti, Bora, Bedrin, Crawford. That's the top 10 at the moment. Just a little bit of a look there from Gabriele Mini as he tries to get back on terms with Dino Beganovic. Haven't those two had enough racing for one weekend between each other? One of those battles has even ended in a collision. Looks like a little bit of a duel further back. That looks like Villa Gomez dueling away there with Han Chen Yu, I think. So There's still good battles everywhere you look around the course. Montoya is having an absolute nightmare. This is not the Sebastian Montoya we know. He must have a problem with the car because he is used to running at the front end of the field in Formula Regional. And nothing has gone right so far for the Red Bull Junior. Not quite like Arvid Lindblad, is it? Who just take the victory in F4 UAE. But look at Mari Boyer on fresh tyres. He is just skating away from Antonelli and Indra Vivazak. Kamara, Mini and Marti. A big dive from Bedrin. That'll do. Gets the job done on Dino Beganovic. Beganovic will have to try and come back at him on the exit. But no chance. Bedrin is the measure of him. So a good run then from Nikita Bedrin, who is racing under an Italian licence these days. Out in the lead though, Mari Boyer in front of Kimi Antonelli and Taz Indra Vivazak. Still a very solid run, and this battle still raging between Mini and Beganovic. Whatever you do, don't hit each other again. Still side by side. Beganovic holding on this time in front of Gabriele Mini. These two are seriously going to have words with each other if they're not careful. They raced each other for the Karting World Championship title back at Alajarma in 2019 in Finland as well. So these two know each other of old. Formula Regional is definitely getting pretty spicy between these two drivers, isn't it? Down the main straight. And is Mini going to have another go at Dino Beganovic? He's going to try again up to the first corner. He's not going to be quite close enough to just chuck it up the inside. You need to know that that move's going to stick, and unfortunately, he certainly doesn't know if that's going to work on this occasion, so he has to bail out of the move. So, Boyer, Antonelli, Indra Vivazak, Kamara, Mini and Marti. That's the top six at the moment. And there's not really a lot Antonelli can do to hang on to Mari Boyer. I think Antonelli's not quite been able to use his freshest tyres for this last race of the day. He's certainly got enough pace to stay relatively close to Boyer, but Boyer has just done a 1:55.7. Just charging away out front, half a second quicker than anybody else. The only driver getting into the 1:55s. And this is what Boyer wants. Now we've got wheel-to-wheel battles going on between the RSGP teammates. This is Braschi and Revej. So this is the Italian versus the Hungarian. Francesco Braschi dueling with his teammate Levi Revej. And Levi Revej wants a little bit more of this as they come down to the braking zone. As they tuck in, they want to be careful they don't get caught out by the Carlin just behind the... by the by the Prema Racing car behind them. So a very interesting duel between them as up the inside. That is the high-tech going wheel to wheel there with Dino Beganovic once again. It's Jack Crawford on this occasion. So Jack Crawford is actually the one now dueling with Beganovic. I thought it was Mini. It's not. It's Jack Crawford. So Crawford is dueling with Beganovic once more. Beganovic trying to get back to the inside line. But Crawford is able to hold it round the outside. That'll hold on nicely. Meanwhile, we've got the Hyderabad Blackbirds car there. Dueling away for position, that is Brad Benavides dueling with the BHM of Josh Dufek. And there's the number 7 car just in front of them, that's Lorenzo Flusha. So Benavides and Flusha dueling away. And down the main straight, we've still got this duel going on. That's Crawford, Beganovic, and then Nikhil Bora just sat there in 10th position, tucked up with Aidan Neat. Is Beganovic going to pull off that signature move around the outside? No, he doesn't get the opportunity. Crawford's not going to give him any space, he doesn't have to. Nikhil Bora is dangerously close to these two now. He has a chance, and Aidan Neat's got a run on Bora. So there's still plenty of time for these races to start changing hands again. But out in front, Mari Boyer has stretched the lead out to 2.3 seconds now over the leading rookie, Kimi Antonelli. And Vivazak going well in third in front of Kamara, Mini and Marti. Bedrin doing a strong job here in front of Crawford and Beganovic. Then Bora, Neat, Benavides, Flusha, Bufek, Braschi and Revej. Ugar has fallen all the way to 17th. And there is an incident at turn 14, lap 1, under investigation. That is Taylor Barnard. Not at all surprised. There could well be a penalty being handed out here to somebody as Revej gets his move on the inside of Braschi. Braschi is not going to give him any space. So there's not a lot of room to negotiate, and so Braschi holds on to the position in front of his teammate. And meanwhile, there's still Lorenzo Flusha to consider, who's dueling away with his good buddy Josh Dufek. I can remember playing at karting with them once upon a time back in Angeville in 2019. We had some fun after the race weekend, all three of us. I was well and truly compounded by Dufek and Flusha on that occasion, and now they're dueling with each other again in race trim. Still they battle away, coming up to the final section of the course, and then on to the main straight. Boyer, Antonelli, into Vivazak, Kamara, Mini, Marti, Bedrin, Crawford, Beganovic, Bora. That's your top 10 at the moment. Those are the 10 that are going to score the points. But it's not over yet. Mini's now sizing up a chance to get past Rafael Kamara. So he's fed up of racing Dino Beganovic. Now he wants to take on the Brazilian in the sister car. So can Gabriele Mini overhaul Rafael Kamara? He's definitely giving him plenty of opposition at the moment. He's having to work very hard to keep his cool. And Kamara and Mini dueling away for position now. 17.5 minutes to go in this race. And it's a very tough battle, a very close encounter with these drivers at the moment. So still the battles rage down the back straight. Murray Boyer, though, has pulled the gap to 2.3 seconds over Antonelli and Vivazak. He doesn't need to put it any more than that. Meanwhile, we've got a duel further back. As around the outside, Rivej is trying to hang on to his position. Oh, no, sorry, that's Braschi trying to hang on to his position, I should say. As he is now going wheel to wheel with Sebastian Ugar. So Sebastian Ugar, the Danish driver, trying to work his way forward. And they've got Michael Shin, the Korean, for Prema, just tucked up behind them. Still very dusty and very tricky at this point of the racetrack. And the crosswinds obviously start to blow the sand further across onto various parts of the racetrack. You don't always have it your own way at Dubai Autodrome. And a few drivers have told me in the past that when the crosswinds start to blow the dust clouds over the circuit, this can end up becoming a little bit like a powerboat circuit, in the sense that every lap is slightly different to the one you did before. The track has changed in some way, in terms of grip levels, in terms of where you can ride the curb and where you can't. This is a tough circuit to get right. Murray Boyer still leads the way. Antonelli in second. Inter Vivazak, the tie, is in third place. So yet again, 3 different teams in the top 3. Hyderabad Blackbirds, Mumbai Falcons and Pinnacle VAR. Well, it looks as though Mini has now dealt with Kamara by closing back in on him. Crawford is well clear of Beganovic and Bora now. So still good battles all the way. Couple of moves being attempted, but you don't really stick that one to the inside line from that far back. So Han Chen Yu trying to go for Rafael Villagomez and finding it very difficult to maintain the overtake. So he's got to wait for a better opportunity, really. Now there's an incident on lap 1 at turn 12 under investigation. That is car 55, Sebastian Montoya. So that's probably the reason why Montoya dropped to the back of the field. 24 cars still running. 3 retirements, sadly. Sami Megatunov, Taylor Barnard and Matthias Zagazeta all out of the race. And there is Sebastian Montoya. He's actually trying to hunt down Rafael Villagomez and Han Chen Yu. Meanwhile, that's Aidan Neat trying to shake off the attentions of Lorenzo Flusha. Flusha's trying to get back in. Aidan Neat is holding it. This is good work from Aidan Neat to defend the position. Lorenzo Flusha has obviously just come off the back of a podium finish. So too has Aidan Neat, though. So they're both brimming with confidence at this stage of the race. Flusha didn't quite get the podium. I do apologise. He was in 4th position behind Taylor Barnard. He was certainly in the top 3 for a very long time. So the battle has been very strong and very, very close quarters all the way through. Not quite for Flusha. He has to wait. Or maybe on the exit. No, he is going to get there, is he? Oh, Aidan Neat really making him work for it. Great racecraft. That's such a deceptive hairpin, because you never quite know if you're going to be able to make the overtaking move by the time you reach the middle of the apex. You can get a little bit alongside your opponent, but there's still enough space around the outside to commit to the exit apex. And then you've got the inside line for the next turn. Here we go. Flusha stepping up the attack on Aidan Neat as they go down the main straight now. Is this going to be enough to make an overtake? Neat's got to hold it on the inside line. Flusha's got to be committed around the outside, and it's enough for Flusha. He's done it. Brilliant. The Spaniard makes it happen. Great work from Flusha. Really strong performance from the Spaniard so far. He's really starting to knuckle down and take prisoners out there. And a great solid work from Lorenzo Flusha. Before too long, we could well have 3 members of the Flusha family in single-seaters. Lorenzo has 2 younger siblings, Lucas and Luna. So it's not going to be long before they've got it in stereo. But fair play to Lorenzo Flusha, who is based out in Mallorca in Spain and doing a grand job. His father's just come off some rally raid. I think they've just taken on, I'm not sure if it was actually the Dakar or if it was something different, very similar in style. There's Benavides, though, trying to shake off Revege. So Benavides and Revege going wheel to wheel. They've definitely gone for aesthetics with Brad Benavides' car out here in Formula Regional. It looks stunning. But Benavides hoping for a little bit more than he's currently able to give the car at this moment in time. So Marty Boyer still hanging on to the lead here and doing an exceptional job, the Spanish driver, just trying to hold on to it. Meanwhile, Revege has got through past Benavides. Benavides is going to try and come back at him around the far side. But that's well held, but a bit of a run wide from Revege. Benavides will try and tuck back in. No, you don't. Great racing. Brilliant dueling between Revege and Benavides. The Hungarian versus the American. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough, says Levi Revege. And at the moment, Benavides just doesn't have a candle to hold to him. And there is a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision at turn 12 on lap 1 going to car 24. That, I'm afraid to say, is the Korean Michael Shin. So the Prema Racing driver Michael Shin has been given a 5-second time penalty, and that's for causing a collision at turn 12 on lap 1. So that's the incident between him and Sebastian Montoya. Now I wonder if there's going to be a penalty given for the Taylor Barnard incident, because obviously Taylor Barnard's race was well and truly over by the time that ended up happening. That might have been Zagazeta, who's obviously out of the race as well. But certainly for the time being, this little battle is still hepping up. Benavides versus Levi Revege. Still very close indeed between the two of them. And down the back straight. Oh no, that's Braschi, because Revege has already got through past Benavides. So Braschi is now trying his own trick to get through. Meanwhile, in the background, you can see Sebastian Ugar, the Danish driver. He wants to get through as well. So Benavides is having to go defensive tactics now to keep the number 34 of Francesco Braschi for RHGP at bay. But certainly Brad Benavides of the Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP team still running there in position. But if Braschi does get through, then it would be his teammate that comes to find him next, namely Sebastian Ugar. So the car we are watching at the moment out on the circuit is just a little way further up the road. This is the duel currently shaking up between Brad Benavides and Francesco Braschi. Ahead of them, you've got Josh Dufek and Levi Revege. Aidan Neat, though, is trying to close up on Lorenzo Flusha to still have another go at the move. But it's all settling down into a bit of a rhythm, and there is a penalty going out. It's the same one. I do apologise. I thought there was going to be another penalty given to another competitor in response to the incident for Taylor Barnard, but I have a feeling it was Matthias Zagazeta, and the punishment he's already been given is that he was out of the race. We'll double check that later, of course. Oh, bit of a mistake there from Francesco Braschi. He was lucky to catch that. He just went a little bit too deep into turn 1. He was quite lucky to save that, actually. The car got very wayward indeed. But it was a very interesting run. So, an exceptional run so far from Marty Boyer, the Spanish driver for the Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP team. He's currently 2.3 seconds clear of Kimi Antonelli. And in third place, I'm very impressed indeed with Taz Vivazak. He really has turned it on a speed here. F4 was strong but lackadaisical. He did get victories in F4 though. But into Formula Regional as a rookie, and he is in the top 3. This is great work from Indra Vivazak. It seems that now that Alex Albon has figured out the secret ingredients to be successful as a tie in Formula 1, there's quite a few of them coming out of the woodwork now. We had Taz Indra Vivazak, and of course we had the new junior karting world champion Enzo Tarnvanichkul last year as well. So there's going to be a lot of great talent to come out of Thailand in the years to come. And the man in third position is currently one of those. So Benavides still trying to shake off Braschi. You guys just behind, and then behind is Michael Shin, who has the 5-second penalty for his involvement in the incident with Sebastian Montoya. No change up at the front. If anything, Boya's actually pulled away now from Antonelli. Antonelli's had a really scruffy lap in second place. So Indra Fuvazak might actually get the chance to go for second place soon. Look at the debris that's been washed up over the final turn. A couple of the drivers running wide and hitting a marker board or two. And obviously the polythene or polystyrene or whatever material it's made of has just shattered and left shards of it all over the final turn. So you can see in the background there the Prema of Shin. So he's trying to get himself into this mix, but Benavidez is just keeping his car nice and uniform. Just in front of Levi Revej, well, sorry, behind Revej and in front of his teammate Francesco Braschi. So still they duel away. 7.5 minutes to go. Marty Boya in front of Antonelli. Indra Fuvazak, Kamara, Mini, Marty, Bedrin and Crawford. So still they duel. 7.5 minutes to go. And of course, once the time runs down to 0, they will get that additional bonus lap as well. So there is Gabriele Mini running in front of... Oh, sorry, Crawford, I should say, running in front of Beganovic. Then Bora. Then Flusha, Neat, Dufek, Revej, Benavidez, Braschi. That's Ugar in the background. You can see Ugar there, the Danish driver. Just starting to creep closer to these two. I tell you what, Brad Benavidez is definitely getting the television time, isn't he? Loving it in 15th position at the moment, trying to close up on Levi Revej in the RHGP car. But at the moment, it is Boya who leads from Antonelli and then to Vuvazak. But Rafa Kamara is still holding firm in front of Gabriele Mini. A great comeback in this race from Pepe Marti. He's gone from 11th on the grid to P6. We saw a lot of spectacular racing from Pepe Marti last year, of course, because in his rookie campaign in 2022, when this was called Formula Regional Asia, he was actually the second best driver in the championship. He was the vice champion. So a lot of people would have seen Pepe Marti coming back into this and think, well, he's definitely going to be fighting for the title again. But it's not quite as easy as that to determine as the drivers make their way through the first couple of corners. Great to see the fans back again in motor racing after the worldwide pandemic. Got rid of a few of them. Got rid of all of them at one point, of course. Marty Boya still leads the way, though. Antonelli and Indra Fuvazak trying to give best. But still, the challenge is running very well indeed here. And still, the battle rages supreme as everybody is going through the field. Onto the back straight again. Boya has just got this race in his pocket. 3 seconds advantage is what he needs over Antonelli. Indra Fuvazak still going strong. Kamara, Mini and Marti. Then it's Bedrin. Then Crawford. There's Beganovic. Bora and Flusha. Hayden Neat coming towards us now as well. Trying to work his way around the course and hope for a points finish. He needs to make 2 more places up if he's going to finish in the points. But he hasn't given up on that. He's still going well. And with just under 5 minutes to go, plus the additional lap, it doesn't look as though anybody's going to be able to hold a candle to Marty Boya. And that is great news for the championship fight, because it means that we have 3 different race winners from the first weekend. It'll be Dino Beganovic, Nikol Bora, and somebody else, because Nikol Bora is down in 10th, Dino Beganovic is down in 9th. So pretty much whatever happens now with about 4.5 minutes to go, plus the additional bonus lap, we are going to get a 3rd different winner. So down to the hairpin. Still going strong, still putting on a bit of a show. As we watched Nikol Bora and Lorenzo Flusha going through the final turn there a short while ago. Lorenzo Flusha still hoping for that elusive first win in Formula Regional in the Middle East. And you can just see him there. Lorenzo Flusha all over the back of Nikol Bora, who is trying to close up on Dino Beganovic. So as the race continues, Rams is just trying to stay as calm as possible. You cannot afford to flat spot these tyres, especially if you're on the older set rather than the fresher set of tyres, because you really are not going to get any decent grip in the closing stages. Do not be surprised if in the last couple of laps of racing we see the drivers just suddenly plummet like a stone. The lap times will just suddenly disappear. That's because the drivers will work as hard as they can to keep the tyre life as strong as possible. But once the tyre goes, it plummets. And you've got no grip. And considering that this is a 5.39 kilometre lap, that is a really tough situation to be put in with a lap or so to go. You can never count anything as done until the checkered flag comes out. We watch the Renzo Flusha still swarming on over the back of Nikhil Bora. And Bora is still trying to give chase to Dino Beganovic. But this is all about fair pace. This is all about very, very calm and smooth running. You've got to look after tyres. So we go a little bit further back, and still Brad Benavides has got his issues there with Francesco Braschi. Sebastian Urgar just can't quite get close enough to them. So Boya, Antonelli and Indra Verbazak out in front. Kamara, 4th place. Then Mini, Marti, Bedrin and Crawford. Looking for the opportunities to try and make an overtake or two here or there. But can Marty Boya sustain this? This is going to be a very important win for him, if he can hold on to it. And Marty Boya, the very talented Spanish driver from Lech. He's been a stellar competitor, multiple Spanish karting champion, 18 years of age, from Lech in Catalunya. And of course, he was second in the Spanish F4 Championship in 2020. He competed in Formula Regional last year in the European campaign. In fact, in the last 2 years, he has done so without a victory. So to sew up a Formula Regional win in the Middle East Championship will definitely give him plenty to be happy about, especially considering that he has just signed a deal with MP Motorsport that he is currently driving for to race in F3 this season on the Formula 1 weekend. So Marty Boya wanting to bow out of Formula Regional as a race winner, and he's certainly looking like these 5 weekends are going to be a potential championship attack. There is Kimi Antonelli though. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, the 16-year-old from Bologna in Italy. Very much grown up in Ferrari country, which is ironic because he's a Mercedes junior. And there is Taz Indra Verbazak, the pinnacle Van Amersfoort racing driver. A great run this from Taz Indra Verbazak. He really has come of age in Formula Regional this weekend. He's had his moments where things haven't quite gone according to plan, and on that last hairpin actually he got a little bit wayward, but he's fought it back again. And I have to say, the most improved driver from last year to this is certainly looking likely to be Taz Indra Verbazak. He's certainly a candidate for it. But look at Rafael Camara. He's pulled well clear in 4th position of Gabriele Mini, who just holds it in 5th position in front of Pepe Marti. And we are going into the penultimate lap now because we have got less than half a minute on the clock. So for Boya, Antonelli and Indra Verbazak, this is now just about pacing yourself and getting it home. You don't want to lose ground in the final couple of laps for overcooking the tyres. Out of the final turn comes Benavides, Braschi, and then we have Ugar and Shin, and then Sebastian Montoya at the back of that field. What a disaster this weekend has turned out to be for Sebastian Montoya. He was just recently signed for the Red Bull program, but that car has had no end of mechanical problems. It's not been able to give Sebastian Montoya the pace that we know he has. He won the first round of this championship last year at Yas Marina. He couldn't complete the full campaign, sadly. Had he done so, he could well have ended up winning the championship title himself for the Mumbai Falcons racing team. In the end of the day, it was actually won by Arthur Leclerc, his teammate, the younger brother of the Ferrari Formula 1 driver Charles Leclerc. And Arthur has continued his racing program. I think he's going to be in FIA Formula 3 this year. But he won this championship last season. And second and third in the championship were Pepe Marti and Isaac Hajar, both of whom have managed to have some great success in single-seaters on the mainland. But here we are, still pushing hard. Braschi's going to have another go at Benavides. Benavides is once again going to say, "Are you joking? There's no way I'm going to let that move happen." So the drivers in the field continuing. You can see that the time has run down to 0. So now we're waiting for the race leader, Marty Boya, to come through and finish this lap to start the last one. But still, Benavides is having problems with Braschi. Braschi is trying to get alongside. He can't quite get there. So Braschi will try again. Benavides is still working hard to remain position. And a bit of a lock-up from Braschi. That could have been very nasty indeed. Goodness me, boy, were they lucky. That could have ended in tears right there and then. But we're on the final lap now. As Marty Boyer, the Spanish charge, number 60, for the Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP Motorsport team, leads the way, and it's justifiably so. Kimi Antonelli running in a smooth second place in front of Taz in the Vivazak. Then Rafael Camara, Gabriele Mini and Pepe Marti. It is going to end this fabulous opening weekend of Formula Regional Middle East with 3 different race winners. Dino Beganovic triumphed in a dramatic race finale in race 1 yesterday. Then Nicol Bora dominated from pole position to clean up with the smoothest and slickest drive of all. But this man, Murray Boyer, he just felt like he had something coming into this race. He looked at me and grinned in the hospitality suite and went, "We've saved the fresh tyres. I'm going to go for this. I want to win." And what a drive it's been from the Spanish talent from Leix in Catalunya. What a fabulous run from the Spanish talent. He has been cutting his teeth in Spanish karting. He was an Miami Euro Winter Cup winner. And now he has got himself into the Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP Motorsport team. He'll run with MP in FIA Formula 3 this year. He's had 2 seasons in Formula Regional in Europe, but this is his first appearance in the Middle East. And on his first weekend, he has been able to convert a front row starting grid position on fresh tyres to a flawless race drive. He took the lead halfway around that one. He has stayed there ever since. Marty Boyer takes the victory. Brilliant race from the Spaniard. Marty Boyer is your winner. Second for Kimi Antonelli and third for Taz in the Vivazak. But Marty Boyer triumphs to give MP Motorsport their first win of the campaign. Great from Kimi Antonelli. These two are good friends, Kimi and Marty. And it's great to see Kimi Antonelli give Marty Boyer the plaudits. You won that, mate. You did the work. Great job from Marty Boyer. A superb start to take the lead away from Kimi Antonelli in fine fashion. And what a great run. Marty Boyer gets the 3rd different race win of the weekend. So first Dino Beganovic, second Nicol Bora, 3rd race win, Marty Boyer. A great run from the Spanish driver and totally and utterly deserved victory. A really exciting run from the competitors. They have been absolutely monstrous since the start. But Marty Boyer, once he got into the lead, he was able to stretch it away, not cause too many problems, not get himself into hot water with anybody, and he utilised the fresh tyres to maximum effect. Brilliant, brilliant work. A good solid run then from Kimi Antonelli in 2nd place though. He can be very happy with that. And the Italian in his first weekend has taken a 2nd place finish. I think he will be happy with that. He'll be positive about what he's been able to achieve here. And what about this boy? Taz in the Vivazak, 3rd position. Excellent performance from the Thai. And a really smooth race. Surprisingly, that was a race that managed to run to the conclusion without a safety car. I think it's the first race all season that hasn't had one. So a good performance from Marty Boyer, just checking out into the lead of the race and disappearing. And he totally and utterly deserved it. Vamos Boyer, says Jose Luis Penella. What a fantastic run. A very clean drive and a very solid race. But wonderful to see that the best 3 drivers of the day were the best 3 drivers at the podium of this race. Boyer, Antonelli and Intra Vivazak all deserve the plaudits for the podiums, and they are going to get to raise their trophies aloft. We will get to see the podium after we catch up with our race winner and race highlights. But what a sensational charge from Marty Boyer. He does get the victory over Kimi Antonelli and Taz Intra Vivazak. It's a podium for Pinnacle, it's a podium for Mumbai Falcons, but it's a win for the Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP Motorsport, the Dutch team, in conglomeration with the Hyderabad Blackbirds that did such a fantastic job of fighting for the Indian Racing League title a month ago with the capable Neil Jani at the wheel. But Marty Boyer has come through. He is a winner in Dubai It's taken him 3 attempts to get a victory in Formula Regional. Just before he bows out of Formula Regional Racing to replace it for Formula 3, he ensures he is a winner in Formula Regional. Great stuff. Excellent work. And Mari Boyer getting the job done. Wow, that was an exceptional drive and a great performance from the Spanish superstar. Second place going his way. And a third position for Taz Indravovazak. Second for Kimi Antonelli. So now the Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP Motorsport team can have a bit of a sigh of relief because they've got a win in their very first weekend in the Formula Regional Middle East Championship. And there's going to be a very happy and very satisfied Mari Boyer. Excellent work and a great performance from the Spanish driver. In his third campaign in Formula Regional, his first out here in the Middle East, he is a race winner in the opening weekend. That's a long time coming for Mari Boyer in Formula Regional, and a great race win. So as the cars will sit idle, we'll obviously get them prepared and ready for Kuwait Motor Town 2 weeks from now, when the next round of the championship will continue. We have 3 different winners from the 3 races: Dina Beganovic, Nikhil Bora and Mari Boyer. And the championship is very much game on now as we head to a new venue, Kuwait Motor Town. This is going to be a really exciting battle for the championship title, isn't it? Everybody's really given as good as they've got. Thank you all very much indeed as well for watching wherever you've been watching, whether it's via the Facebook or YouTube feeds or via CTVS in China. You're all very welcome indeed. And Mari Boyer is going to triumph in fine style. So with Boyer, Antonelli and Indravovazak about to make their way to the podium, we'll hope to hear from our race winner, the Spanish star, very soon indeed. But it's been a truly terrific time up at the front end of the field for the Spanish driver from Les in Calatunya. So let's hear from Mari Boyer, who is down in the pit lane with Feline Wang. There's a slight technical difficulty. We'll hopefully try to get a word with our race winner very soon indeed. Kimi Antonelli just returning his steering wheel to the car and making sure everything is all sorted in terms of the regulations. I wonder how long it's going to take him to get a race victory this year. Could even be as soon as Kuwait Motor Town. Well, certainly it's been an interesting one. Let's take a look back at how Mari Boyer got the race win for Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP. Right from the start, we knew that it was going to be a tough strategy call. It may not have been the most thrilling wheel-to-wheel duel, but tactics played their part in this race. Mari Boyer making sure he made good use of his fresh tyres from the launch, trying to get past Kimi Antonelli early. Sadly, there were problems at turn 1, as we had a collision between Matthias Sagazeta and Sami Megatunev. But there are more problems to come for Taylor Barnard at the end of the opening lap, as he ended up getting spat out to the scenery. And for Taylor Barnard, his amazing charge through the field came to an abrupt stop. He still has the 2 podiums from the weekend to take through, of course, but there's no more points scored from Taylor Barnard this weekend. A good duel through the field from Aidan Neat and Lorenzo Flusha. They duelled several times over the course of the race. But up in front, it was all plain sailing for the Spaniard in the lead. Brad Benavides swapped paint first with Levi Revege and then with Francesco Braschi. But Mari Boyer just marched to the victory up front, with challenges from Antonelli and Indravovazak finally dwindling. And even Rafa Kamara managing to fend off from Gabriele Mini, who finally put some championship points on the board. Everyone pushing as hard as possible. A fairly clean race by all accounts. No safety cars and an all-out thrash to the victory for the Spanish talent on the top step. Mari Boyer gave it everything he had. The drivers behind, Antonelli, Indravovazak and Kamara, were trying to close him down. But once you've got the lead at Dubai Autodrome and you're in a good rhythm, it's very hard to lose ground. Into Rivazak third, second for Antonelli, but the race winner, Marty Boyer, for the Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP Motorsport team. And a commanding victory for the Spaniard, and very, very deserved. 3 different winners from the first 3 races, and in Kuwait Motor Town in 2 weeks' time, you could get a 4th. So the Spanish driver Marty Boyer is triumphant here at Dubai Autodrome for the 3rd and final Formula Regional Middle East Championship, certified by FIA race. And a very exciting run it was indeed too for the MP driver. In a little under 4 months' time, he will start his FIA Formula 3 Championship campaign for this team. But he wanted to bow out of Formula Regional at the top of his ability and the height of his powers. And so this time, Marty Boyer is finally in a race-winning position, and he has taken it in fine fashion. So we'll invite the 3 drivers to come to the podium and to celebrate in style. We sadly won't hear from Marty Boyer instantly, but you can hang out on the Formula Regional Middle East Championship social media feed on Facebook, and that is where you'll hear the reaction from Marty Boyer. So a fabulous performance as the drivers come to the podium. Taz into Vivazak in 3rd position for Thailand. A very happy Andrea Kimi Antonelli 2nd for Italy. But on the top step of the podium, it's our race winner, Marty Boyer for Spain. Well done to Marty Boyer. An excellent run from the MP Motorsport driver and a very deserving victory indeed. A sensational display from our drivers on the podium, and it's 3 completely different faces on the top steps of the podium compared to what we saw from race 1 earlier and from race 2 earlier on today as well. The victory goes the way of Marty Boyer. Excellent work from Marty Boyer. And the rookie trophy goes to Kimi Antonelli. You're going to get to see him do that a few times over the course of the season, I'm sure. But Marty Boyer, who is in his last Formula Regional campaign, driving out here in the Middle East before he switches to F3, has taken a victory, and rightly so. Antonelli and Vivazak are snapping at their heels, but watch out for the likes of Beganovic, Bora, and of course Taylor Barnard in this title fight. 2 weeks from now, we will head to Kuwait Motor Town for the first time ever in Formula Regional, as the Middle East Championship will continue on a brand new race circuit. And who knows, we could end up with a 4th, maybe even a 5th, possibly even a 6th different winner. As we celebrate here in Dubai, it's been a fantastic opening weekend, and there's even more where that came from. From Feline Wang, Jake Sanson and all of the crew here, trackside at Dubai Autodrome, we've loved every second of it, and we hope you have too. Join us in 2 weeks at Kuwait Motor Town, where the Formula Regional Middle East Championship, certified by FIA, continues.
Hi, Mari, brilliant performance for today, and tell us about the race. Tell us about the battle at the front, and also, is your tactic helps you with this win?
Well, I'm really happy. I want to thank all the team MP Motorsport for the support they are giving me since the beginning. I started in single seaters. I know I had the pace. It was really important to take Antonelli at the start. We did. And then just manage the lap times, and yeah, I'm really happy for this win because we were deserving this by a long time.
Thank you. 那么刚刚呢，我是问到 Mari 他对自己的表现感觉如何？他也提到呢，非常感谢车队，因为他在做 go karting 的时候，在开卡丁车的时候就一直得到了车队的支持。现在呢，他们也等待了这一次的获胜非常长的时间。Back to you guys.
So just to remind you, we've obviously got 4 weekends still to go in the Formula Regional Middle East Championship. We have the next 2 rounds coming up at Kuwait Motor Town, and they are going to be 6 races in the space of 8 days. It's going to be a really exciting battle where 6 races will take us one step closer to crowning our champion. Then we'll come back to Dubai Autodrome in February, and we'll finish off on the Yas Marina Circuit. It really has been a sensational weekend here at Dubai Autodrome, the first of 5, and the championship battle is going to be raring from here. I'm Jake Sanson. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage of Formula Regional Middle East Championship from Dubai Autodrome. See you in Kuwait.